What is up, everyone? We are back with the first video of MLB The Show 20. Today, we're just going to get right into it. We have a requested video that some people have been posting in some chats, some Facebook forums. I see it around all the time about do Kontrol Freeks work, do Kontrol Freeks not work. I'm going to just kind of go run down of all the varieties that I've tried through my years of playing this game and kind of just tell you my thoughts. And I don't have all the whole set, but I'll post the link and some pictures of all those control sticks or control freaks, I guess you would say, that you can be picking up offline. I would just go. I mean, we can't go to GameStop now or anything and try them out because of all the quarantine stuff and the store closures. But if you have a chance, whenever they open back the stores, if you're unsure of exactly the right preference or the right one that you guys think you should like, because everyone likes a different style, different comfort, different texture, different height, concave, convex. Alright, so we're going to go over my preferred setup that I've been using for the last couple years, and then a couple of the other control freaks that I've had laying around that I've kind of experimented with, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts, my takes, and yeah, we'll go from there. So my preferred method, when I say my preferred setup, is I always just seem to have camo controllers. Camo is just kind of my thing, and so you always see me rocking a camo controller in the stream if you happen to see it. We're going to start off, I have my green camo controller. We use the CQCs. The CQCs I feel like are just the perfect balance of grippiness, not too much like junk on the control freak that gets your fingers sore or tired. It just has this nice little balance of just this little edge ring kind of on the outside, and then just a little bit of gripping in the middle, and it has some like serrated lines, I guess you would say, if that's the right word, on the inside. I prefer to use more of a flat top over like a mid-range. I just feel like sometimes the mid-range when I was hitting would get a little too loose, and I know most of dropping your PCI and over pushing is just on your reaction time and kind of your approach to the plate and how well you're timing pitches, but I felt like I was kind of overcompensating a little bit. But it just some of them are, they're pretty tall. They have like I think a low, medium, and a tall. The talls I feel like I have bigger hands, but I feel like, excuse me, you kind of stretch out your finger a little bit more on that one. But like I said, my preferred method of choice is just a stick on my hitting and then nothing on the pitching. And I know a lot of people or some bigger streamers and certain people that you'll see that recommend will usually have both, but I prefer not to have both because I feel like when I was pitching, kind of the same thing. Like pitching's already hard enough in years past, and it's definitely a lot harder this year. All the random pitches, so I kind of like to get that snap. You know, when you kind of hear that snap in the game, you kind of know that like you almost placed it perfectly. When you don't really you're loose and you don't really snap, that's when a lot of the missed pitches. When you get lazy and you kind of just just like, you're tired, whatever, you don't push it, you got to kind of get that snap in there and hear it. But that's my preferred method or my preferred system. Like I said, that's my setup. I love these control freaks. Next up, I know is probably one of the most popular recommended control freaks out there, especially at least around MLB players. They're going to be the Galaxies. If you can kind of see, they have these kind of like cone shape kind of ribs or whatever you want to call them on the outside. I really like these ones. They are grippy. I just felt like sometimes when you play MLB a lot, I don't know about you guys, but on the inside of like my thumb for pitching over 3,000 times, it gets a little rough, gets a little raw, and you get kind of that callousy. So sometimes these cones I felt like would just get even more irritating, kind of dig in and just be a little bit of a burden. But I mean that's just kind of me. I mean I play this game so much. I usually just get my thumbs get raw by the end of the freaking year, and these ones just get a little bit uncomfortable after playing for a while, in my opinion. But these ones probably have one of the most grips, especially on the edge, is where you would like it to kind of do whatever hit pitch. But I know a lot of people prefer these ones over a lot of them. The next ones that I have are, I believe they're called the Edge. They have pretty much just a star in the middle. There's one that's concave, that's the smaller one, and then the other one's a little bit of the higher stick, and it has more of an indentation star. These ones are okay, but I really don't like these ones just for the fact that this star doesn't really give you much grip. I feel like this one that I used a lot on my hitting, it wore down a good amount pretty quick, especially on the side that I was using it. And I feel like once you start rubbing off like the edges of the star, it just becomes flat and there's not much grip. And I feel like in times, where I don't usually get too, my hands don't get too sweaty a lot, but there's certain moments, or depending on, the weather, summer, winter, what, situations, if I'm in an intense ranked seasons battle, World Series game or something, they're just hard to really grip when you start getting a little bit more of a sweaty, or kind of say a moister hand. But so I wouldn't recommend the edges in my opinion. These ones, I believe these are called the alphas. These are more of a concave type of just Kontrol Freek. I believe these came in a package, two of these and two of these. They were like $20 in a four package. I don't really care for those ones as much. I just don't really like the concave feeling. I just feel like when you're pitching, you want almost the convex, because it gives you the middle's built up and the edge usually has a little grip around it. Sometimes I feel like when you're on the edge and you go push forward or something, that you like your thumb kind of wants to just slip up in the middle. It kind of just, it doesn't get that grip, and I really don't like the concave feeling as much at all. I like more of, the rounder kind of bubble side. The one stick that I bought and I've never tried, because I don't really care for the higher or mid-range ones, and I accidentally bought them because I love the grip. I believe these are called the Battle Royale. They're the Battle Royale Nightfall grips. They're supposed to be, I think, more of like the Fortnite type of, use them for Fortnite, this and this. But when I felt them, these actually have some of the best grip that I felt. They're not too crazy. Nothing's too raised. Nothing's too flat. But if you look at it, it's almost kind of like a crosshair. It kind of has a couple little crosshairs in it, and I just feel like these ones are really grippy, and you can tell on this controller compared to this one. I think this is just a mid-range top. If you can kind of see that, you can kind of see the height difference. I probably don't have them angled the best, but you can kind of see the height difference, and one is definitely a lot higher than the other one. And sometimes I know even some MLB streamers I've been listening to, they kind of like the taller ones because you don't have to move your PSI even that much at all. Like these ones, I really feel like you can get quick. That's the whole point of Kontrol Freeks, to kind of supposedly make be able to move quicker and react to the ball a little better. I mean, that's just for the baseball terms. I know they do a lot of different things for other video games, but I like the low tops a little bit because they kind of still have that snappiness where you kind of snap, where these ones just feel a little too soft. And I used to always think that these stretch my fingers out, my thumb, because if you have a smaller hand, this is definitely a good amount of height. If you actually compare the height to the regular stick, it has a good amount of height. So you got to actually have a little bit bigger hand in my opinion to kind of use these. But now that I'm kind of feeling these out right now, I might try to do some just offline or even some events, grinding or playing, and just kind of test these out, because I feel like if I can get this down without like dropping my PCI or reacting terrible and just slamming these over, I feel like I can actually probably hit a little bit more and maybe not have as long of a reaction time pull as far as the stick's concerned. But like I said, there's a lot of factors about MLB and hitting. I know a lot of the people will try to maybe use Kontrol Freeks or monitors as a way to compensate, I guess you say, for the lack of skill. Monitors, for how much minuscule amount they do kind of affect consoles, they do allow you, in my opinion, to react to the balls quicker, and they do actually do something. You can notice a difference. When I used to play and started playing MLB a few years ago, just using a big 50-inch monitor at my ex-girlfriend's house, it was pretty tough, and I was having a hard time, and I was really sucking. And then once I started going to the monitor, I still had to learn the skill gap since I was a new player, but I was able to react, able to hit a lot better. And it's the same thing with Kontrol Freaks. Kontrol Freaks, I feel like they aid and help you in ways, but you also still have to be someone who can still react to pitches, still know counts, still kind of guess counts a little bit, still kind of have an IRL baseball knowledge in a sense too, to kind of help yourself guessing the next pitch. I mean, you don't want to guess, but I'm just saying to kind of have a better idea of what might be coming, so you're not just sitting there and all of a sudden, oh fuck, Kluber's 99 sinker just comes in, I can never touch it. But like I said, for all the new players, Kontrol Freeks run around $14.99. Like I said, the package one I got was about $20. I'd recommend picking up some, whether you're an experienced veteran or just someone starting up in MLB The Show and has played it for the first time this year. They do help, and for the minuscule amount of money, and in my opinion, it's definitely something that is a good investment, along with the monitor. Monitors you can get cheaper. I spent a little bit more on my monitors, but like I said, I do more editing and You know, I play more PC games and stuff too, so I wanted some really good monitors. But I've been dealing with that for the last couple years since I've been streaming. But pretty much to wrap it up, I'd have to say that get some Kontrol Freeks, go check them out. Go on the website. I believe if you order right now, or if you order first time, I don't know how it works. You probably get a 10% off coupon. But you definitely been seeing some Kontrol Freeks throughout this video, kind of giving you an explanation and showing you the website a little bit. At the end, when I wrap up, I will show kind of just all the ones that I went through today on the end of the page. And like I said, you've probably already been seeing some Kontrol Freeks scrolling through on the website as I've been doing this video. So like I said, I'm going to try to be consistent. Every time I try to get motivated and do things, certain things in life have kind of, hindered me, and it's on my own end, my own motivation. But right now, whether it's for fun, whether just doing it for the small community that I have, I really appreciate everybody that has been supporting me through about the 4 years I've been at streaming. I just came out with a stream schedule, a temporary stream schedule on Twitch. I mean, not Twitch, sorry, well, for Twitch, but on Twitter, just to kind of give certain people a more consistent viewer base of when videos are going to be dropping and when the streams are going to be starting, just so it could help people, maybe get people a little excited, when they go live and everything. But I'm gonna try to keep it for a balance. I usually try to kind of push limits and post way too many videos or edit way too many videos. Why I still want to stream, and Twitch streaming, everything's at my heart. YouTube, is second for me, but this is something that I really think I can have a little niche in, and I can kind of help more of the casual, even the competitive players, but kind of break that break that bridge gap to kind of see where you might need to take from being a beginner entry level player to start getting up in the ranks, and little tweaks and adjustments that can help your game out. But stay tuned for all the rest of the content. Like I said, this is the first video we're dropping of the year. The next video, I'm not sure what we're gonna do, but I have some good ideas, and I have a bunch of lists and goals that I want to accomplish. And we're gonna also have probably a 1 or 2 time a week podcast as well, with my friend Droid, or one of my friends Kembo, or whoever. If you're a streamer, content creator, anybody, you guys want to do some podcast talk about MLB, IRL, baseball, even though there's not really much going on right now. You guys want to talk about channels, how to edit, Twitch stream, do whatever, motivate people, whatever you want, just hit me up and we'll figure it out. But that's gonna do it for this video. And you guys have a good night. Stay safe.
Don't play with my money, don't play with my mind, don't play with my fucking emotion. I'm waiting on trial, and it's been a while, and I ain't got time for emotion.